And I'm going to do big waves, big waves, big waves. So if this is your first Zoom with us, just know we do 2 hands, and we do that because it's fun and it's a little crazy, and man, doesn't it feel good to be fun and a little bit crazy. So my name is Andrea Rosser, and I am like fired up, cross-eyed, excited for tonight, because not only do I have amazing humans joining us, but we have some amazing announcements. So first of all, I want to make sure, so I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping before we kick this off. But first of all, I want to make sure that every single one of you that is joining us at PXP, and if you are part of this company, and if you are wanting more from Partner Co, more information on your health, more money in your bank account, more from this business, I would highly recommend that you get your hiney to PXP. And so that is going to be September 20th through the 22nd. It's in Orlando, and it is sold out. So if you do not have your ticket, you need to be posting in Partner Co Nation and raising your hand and saying, I need a ticket. I will tell you that we have a couple left. So if you do need a ticket, feel free to message me. But I've seen people, posting in Partner Co Nation and sharing that they've got tickets for sale. So make sure that you're checking there, because guys, it's sold out from the company, and we're going to have more people that want to be there than we have tickets available. So make sure that you get yours nailed. If you do have your ticket, make sure you're registering it. So make sure that, hold on a second. The dogs have decided that they're going to be excited. So hopefully I'm muted and you didn't all hear me yell at my dogs. But anyway, make sure that you're getting registered. So if you did not receive an email from the company and you're like, what do you mean registered? I ordered it. I didn't. You need to call customer support and say, help me register my ticket, because we need to do that by the end of this month so that they can announce you and all of your exciting rank advancements. So make sure you're getting that done. If you need a ticket, post in Partner Co Nation. And if you're coming, let us know. Go ahead and put a comment in the chat, but also make sure you're posting the flyer. There is a template on boards that you can put your picture on it and let the world know that you're going to PXP, because we want to see you there and we want to celebrate that you are joining us. So that's the first thing. Next thing, I need you all to get ready. I have a homework assignment for you. Now, obviously, we're a volunteer army, so you could choose to ignore me, but I'm going to highly recommend that you do not, because we've got some exciting things coming to you. And for that, you need to be prepared. How do you need to be prepared? You need to have a list assembled of every single customer that you have ever shared the drops with. I need you to write that down on a piece of paper. And you're like, oh my goodness, I can't think of everybody. Well, I would recommend that you slow down a little bit, go check out your messenger and see who's messaged you, right? Go look at your Venmo and see who's paid you. Go look at your pirate ship and see where you've mailed boxes. Look at your text messages. Go hunt and start writing down every single person that you have ever sold a box of drops to. And I don't care if that was last year when we first started the system of growth or last week. I just want you to have a list, because you're going to want that when you jump on a very special call. And I'm going to share my screen this Saturday at 9 a.m. We have a special call with Coach Palmer. And so we'll put this all over, Partner Co Nation and Telegram and all the places, but maybe take a screenshot, because this is going to be a very important call as you move through the month of August. So make sure you're jotting this down and that you're on there and you're sharing that with your team, but that you've done your homework assignment before Saturday morning. So that's going to be my teacher hat. Okay, I'm going to take that off and I'll stop bossing you around. But the next thing that I want to let you guys know about is we have a Zoom tomorrow with Dr. Crystal. So I'm going to share my screen again, and she's going to be talking about the subscription product of the week. So we all know our gateway product, right? Like, what product do we talk about? Drops, 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 drops. What product it is again? Drops, right? Like, we all know the product that we start with. But a lot of times we get questions of, what are our subscription products? If we're a brand partner, if I want to get paid, I need 100 PV. Drops are only 76. So what can I add in to support me on my journey? So Dr. Crystal is going to be sharing another phenomenal product, giving some information about Venali tomorrow at 1 p.m. So again, grab a screenshot of this. It's going to be a powerful Zoom. It'll be short, I think, 10, 15 minutes, but she goes through all the highlights in the product. I can't give you any clues because I know nothing, but I will tell you, I take this, I take it all the time. And especially I got really sick when I was in California at the beginning of this summer and had some lung stuff that was just sticking with me. So I superdosed Venali, and knock on wood, my table's glass, so I can't knock on wood right this second, but knock on wood, it's made a really big difference. So I'm really grateful for that. So that is tomorrow. So I'm going to stop that share. All right. So that's enough of the housekeeping stuff. Now I want to bring on the excitement. So I have two phenomenal women on with me tonight. And as you saw with our flyer, we're health and hustle, right? Like that's our challenge right now, that we are working on taking our health to the next level, and we are working to take our business to the next level. And these ladies are absolutely here to bring the fire to both of that. So I'm going to start with Amy Rickman. And Tammy, if you want to join me on this portion and, help with the intro and any of that, you are more than welcome. I'm going to go ahead and spotlight both y'all. And there we go. So I should have both of you on my screen now. Perfect. But Amy is a homeopathic educator from the Colorado Springs area. She's a homeschool mama, so I already love her because, we got to stick together, well, we'll say our alternative mamas, maybe a little bit out there in the world, but a little bit more common nowadays, but phenomenal human. She's already achieved the rank of vice president, like lickety split with Partner Co. And she has a lot of wisdom. So Tammy, I'm going to hand it to you. You can share a little bit more there if you'd like, and then we'll kick it over to Amy if you don't mind.
Absolutely. I don't want to take a second of this woman's time because she is a wealth of information on the drops. So I had the privilege and honor of meeting her through Julie Park's organization. We did a drop talk and Amy came to it, and I knew she was special from the minute I met her. She asked all the interesting questions that very few people even know the questions to ask. And she asked all the interesting questions, and she was a researcher. And then I found out she taught on homeopathy. She was an instructor. She was a teacher. And it was really clear to me that she was going to make a huge impact, not only in a business for herself, but she also has this beautiful desire to share the knowledge and information she has with other people. And to me, boy, that's in this business, you find somebody that's willing to work with you that has no financial gain to you, that's gold. And so I just want to say thank you, Amy, for being on tonight and for your willingness to share some of the amazing information that you have discovered about the drops and how it's going to impact all of our businesses. So give her a warm welcome in the chat.
Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you for being on here. And when you tell me, I have a little clip keyed up or queued up, I don't know how you say that, ready. So you let me know when you want to share it. I'll just share like 30 seconds or a minute, but I don't want to take away from you. So, obviously we know our goal is to maximize our results with our help and with our health and with Slender Eyes. So Amy's here to help us. She's created some phenomenal tools that she's willing to share, which I absolutely love. And so I just wanted to share, welcome you here and just share any tips that you'd like to share with us tonight.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. And I will say that my first introduction to the drops, I started looking at all the homeopathic remedies in the Slender Eyes, and I was blown away. And there were a few that I didn't know. So I started researching and going through my Materia Medica, which is quite large. It's about this thick. And Julie Park actually is the one who also sent me some information. She was looking at taking them. And I will tell you that I started telling her, "Do you realize what is in here?" And I started explaining it to her, and just all the different ingredients. And she said, "Wow!" And I said, "This is something that can absolutely help people." And I think it has a great formulation as far as the homeopathic side. And then I started studying the Accelerate as well. And I realized that the two of them together really can make a big difference. And so even the first meeting I went to, I had already done all my research. And so I started talking about it even at the meeting. I had not even tried the drops yet, but I knew the potential for it. And several people would come up to me and ask me questions. I've had so many people text me. And I started to realize that there was a need for people to understand what homeopathy is because there's a lot of confusion with it and to understand how these work together. So I thought, well, if I can just create a document that I can send to people or some videos, Julie and I started working on some videos, then that way we could just send these to people as they were coming in because so many people have so many questions and might be a little fearful. So I want to take away that fear factor and I want to help people feel comfortable with this product. And I want something that we as partners can share and it can be really easy to understand. So I really wanted to just kind of go over what homeopathy was and how to utilize it. So I also wanted to do a big thank you to Miss Tammy and Miss Julie. They have both just poured into me and encouraged me. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I am today. So they have always encouraged me. We tried to do a few sets of videos. It didn't work quite right. And so another partner in a different team, not even in my team, Amber Trusevich and her husband Josh, offered to help do the videos for me and to put this document together. And Josh he is starting a new business to help small businesses and with True Ways. So I've just been so grateful for him. And then my mom also spent time editing this. So I wanted to make sure I did a shout out to her. But if you don't mind showing a clip of the video, and then I can talk through the other resource that I made and see if there's any questions.
Okay. Oh, hold on. One more time. One more time. Let's see. All right, you see you?
Yes,
Okay.
I see the video.
Okay.
My name is Amy Rickman. I'm a homeopathic educator, and I wanted to share some information about what's in this first bottle of drops, the Slender X drops, through the different ingredients to help you feel more comfortable with them. The first ingredient is ammonium bromatum, and this one is great for helping balance hormones and your weight. Everybody has hormones, men and women, all ages, and this is going to help you get that balanced and moving forward in your
So my volume, it's maximized. So I don't know if
That's
you
okay.
could hear it, but that was the best that I could absolutely do. But we're going to make sure you have access to this so you guys can all hear it live on your end. So I'll hand it back to you, Amy, because I don't think we could hear very well. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. No worries. So you're welcome to go on my channel, amy'shealthnest.com, my YouTube channel. All three videos are there, and we tried to make them about 5 minutes each. So you can easily send them to anyone who's looking at the drops. I tried to go through all of the common questions I get a lot of times. For example, I'm allergic to shellfish. I don't think I can have Calcarea carbonicum, which is made from shellfish. Well, when you learn how homeopathy is made and you learn that it is so diluted, how it's succussed, how it's prepared, usually it helps just defray those fears. So that was my goal. I also went through, why is there alcohol in the first set of drops? I went through every single one of the ingredients, and I also created a document that you can easily hand out that actually has the videos linked in there. So I want to share that with as many people as I can. I'm not sure how we want to do that. I'll let you figure that out. But I'm happy to share because I want something that's going to be engaging and a resource and a tool for those who need it.
So here's what the cover of the document looks like. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy the link and I'll throw it in the chat and hopefully everybody can see it right there. We'll cross our fingers. So you guys let me know if you can see that. I also put a link to your YouTube channel so we can all go stalk you and subscribe and, you know, blow it out of the park. We can't wait to watch all of them.
Wonderful. And I'm also going to be posting some more just homeopathy help videos in there too. So to help you with, to help anyone with other issues.
Well, beautiful. I love it. And, you know, I think probably one of the things that is so phenomenal is that obviously it took you time and resources and effort, right? To create all of that. It's beautiful, guys. It's really beautiful. And a lot of times people say, well, I made it. I ain't sharing it. And I love that literally you're like, please pass it around like confetti so that we can all learn. And I will say, I get questions about the drops all the time. And this is what I say. Homeopathy is a whole different beast. So I don't have any science for you, but it's just different. And so I love that you're bringing us the science tonight. And I so appreciate that. And if you had, let's say, 3 tips for us for what we can do with the drops to take our use of them to the next level so we can have more success, I would love if you wouldn't mind sharing.
Okay, sure. Well, the first thing I wanted to share is that to give everybody hope. One, that the drops do make a difference, and to encourage people, and I put this in my booklet, to give you time, because even with any homeopathic protocol for any kind of chronic condition, we recommend a minimum of 2 to 3 months, and normally to get a baseline. So really encourage anyone who's looking at these to get a baseline, not just their weight, not just measuring size and all of that, but also marking down any other issues they have. If they have high blood pressure, if they have skin conditions, whatever it might be. And I recommend doing it on a scale of 1 to 10. And then that way you can go back after 2 months, 1 month, whatever it might be, and you can see if there's progress. And hopefully there is progress, because often in our memory, we don't remember, oh my goodness, I guess I used to have headaches, about 3 times a week. I'm not getting those headaches now. I used to have the skin condition, or, my anxiety is gone from, a 9 most days to, a 5. So we're looking to see improvement, and we're looking to encourage and move people forward. So that would be tip number 1, if that helps.
Love it.
And then tip number 2 is learning a little bit about all the ingredients, because I had some people say, well, I'll just take it. I don't care what's in there. But understanding what we're looking for, and that's what I teach with homeopathy, that you kind of want to look for, like, where should I expect improvement? When I saw that there was a Venus sativa in there that helps with food addiction, then I realized, wow, this is going to help with addictions. It could even help with some other addictions. If I, with the what is the one I'm thinking of? Oh, the graphites. The graphites helps with the weight issues, but it also helps with your skin. So if I see my skin improving, that could also be a benefit there. So that way you're looking at all components of it. And the same thing with the accelerate. If you look at what the nutrition, the adaptogenic herbs, what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to help you with anxiety, with targeting visceral fat, that's going to help move you forward. So that would be my second tip there. And my third tip is to obviously use them consistently. And I encourage lots of, for example, I try to drink, 3 16 ounces of water first thing in the morning with lemon juice, apple cider vinegar. And that gets my body going. It gets everything started the right way. First thing in the morning, I usually do a devotion. I do a prayer, walk outside, and I'm already starting out on a good foot. So I'm already looking at, what am I going to do? What am I going to eat for the day? Planning out my food. And so that's another tip that I wanted to share.
Ah, I love it. Well, Amy, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for sharing not only your time, but your wisdom with all of us tonight. And there's a bunch of people asking for your number in the chat. I'm not going to give it out because I don't want to be that person. But if you're willing, feel free to go ahead and put it in the chat. or, you know, if you've got a way that you'd prefer people to get a hold of you, you can share that in there, like your Facebook or your YouTube channel, whatever it may be. But I know a lot of people are saying, wow, I want some more of her wisdom. So thank you so much for sharing tonight.
Absolutely. And just so you know, all that information's on the last page of that document.
Ah, okay, guys. Well, there you go. Flip through the last page. There will be her contact. We can all stalk her. So when your
Yes.
phone blows up, we're so sorry. We love you. We're
Thank
grateful.
you.
Well, thank you
Thank you.
so
It was
much.
an honor to be able to talk to you tonight.
Well, I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much for being with us. And Tammy, I'm going to bring you back up here. So come on back up. So Tammy, thank you so much. And the document, Julie, is in the chat here that she shared. But thank you so much for being on here tonight. And I will tell you guys, I have had the privilege of working with this lady for quite some time. And I've watched her build an empire. And just to give you a little background, she is a CEO with the company. Probably for 4 more minutes, who knows? Like, I mean, she's moving and shaking, and she's got a phenomenal team. She's last I looked, so it might be updated. So I stalk you, Tammy, but I might be a week behind. But she was number 22 power ranker in the entire globe, the entire world, 10th in North America, and first in her state of Colorado. And one of the things that I see with her, as you know, we're always trying to learn and get the tidbits from the people around us, is that she is super consistent. Like, as far as I know, and you know, we're on separate teams, so I can only stalk her from afar. But as far as I know, she enrolls people in her business every single week. She is constantly recruiting. And once she gets somebody in, she has an intention that not only does she enroll them, but she gets her people trained, she gets her people paid, and she gets them moved along and connected with community. And so, Tammy, I was hoping that tonight you could just walk us through that. I have your document, so when you're ready, I can share it. But if you wouldn't mind just walking us through what you do. If I had the privilege of being enrolled by Tammy Melchisedeck today, what would you do with me as we move along?
Well, thank you so much, Andrea. And hey, everybody, give me a wave. I mean, I'm big on the screen. I'm not sure I can handle it. I'm like Andrea, it's a little too much. A little too much Tammy. But yes, and also let me go back to Amy for a second, and then I'm going to jump into how to get a brand partner started successfully. So the document Amy created is a tool for you. And yes, it does have her information in there because she is the expert. And so that's the way that we want to present that to someone, is that the document that was created is by Amy Rickman. She is the expert. And but that information is very valuable for you with your newest person, just that they would understand it's a tool. Okay, so how do we get a brand partner started? Gosh, I'll tell you what, this is my very favorite thing in the whole world to speak on. I was on the IPA chat, and if you're not on the IPA chat, let me just tell you right now, you need to be on that. I love that Zoom, the chat, not the, well, the chat too, but I love that morning, just waking up, getting my walking shoes on and getting in the right mindset. And a lot of what we do and a lot of what I want to share with you tonight really is about the mindset of anticipation of what the day is going to hold. The mindset of anticipation when you sit down with a person around your table and you train them, the mindset of anticipation when you book a Zoom with someone, that they absolutely are going to be successful at this, and you're going to give them every single tool that they need to be successful. It's your job. Your number one job is to outwork your job. So that you can walk into a room and nobody asks you one question because they know, they've been trained. That's your job. And as you do it with great anticipation, love, and encouragement, the core word to the word encouragement is courage. So your job is to give people courage. Did anybody need a little bit of courage when I started? Put a 1 in the chat. Come on, come on. I know it's not 1 or 2 people. I know it's a majority of us that needed courage when we got started, right? We needed somebody to say, you can do this. I believe in you. I'm going to hold your hand till you walk out my door. so that you see people are already texting you. If I've trained you or you've been on a Zoom or in my home and we created a post for you, and by the time you left my house, you had people already wanting information, I want you to put a 22222 in the chat, because I want you to see that if people are trained, there is success. Success, clues follow success, or success follows clues, I guess that's how you say it. So let's just get started really simply. I'm going to just walk through this with you. Exactly what I do. It's not rocket science. Trust me, this is not rocket science. This is very simple, but I do everything very intentionally. And I repeat the exact same thing over and over again. So when I book an appointment with someone, or one of my downline contacts me and says, I have so-and-so, I want to teach her on how to use the boards. We set up a meeting at my house, if at all possible. I know that's not always possible. You have teams all over. I have teams all over. So we will do this on Zoom. However, if they are in your backyard, they need to be in your home. They need to be in a restaurant. They need to be in a coffee shop. You have got to get in front of that person one-on-one, because why? You are their cheerleader. They need you to show them how to download the boards, put it on their phone, answer their questions. You're sitting neck to neck with them, right next to them. I put them in a chair right here. And right, Amy, she knows this is true. I put them in a chair right here, got my arm around them. They're not leaving my house, but I am putting them here, and then I am helping them. Sometimes I grab their phone. I say, may I take your phone, please? But I usually grab it. And then I say, here, I'm going to help you with some things. So the very first thing we do, they walk in the door, I welcome them, I give them a big hug, I introduce myself, I say, you're at the right place at the right time. You're setting their mindset immediately that they are going to be able to do that. And then what I do is I walk over to my counter, and I have a couple of our subscribe products. Okay, we want everybody on the drops. We want them ordering 10 packs of drops. I don't ever talk to anybody about any other product. This is a clue. Then the drops. Drops. But once they are a brand partner and they're on the drops and they're ordering the drops, now I want to say, hey, listen, I'm going to pour you some delicious Elite. And I got some fresh orange or lemon, and we're drinking Elite. I may show them Moa, or I may show them Noni, or I may show them Limu. That's usually the only products I ever show people, or Renew. And it's just a handful. And I always tell them, these are your subscription products. In other words, we don't want you just on the drops. These are the other products that we want to introduce to you, because our company has over 100 products. But what we do, we train on the drops, right? So keep that in mind. Don't convolute this, because I never introduce another product until they're already set with the drops. Does that make sense? Put a 1 in the chat, because I want to make sure that you do understand that. Very important point. Wouldn't you say, Andrea Russer? You agree.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
And so then we move over from my counter, and I may send some samples home with them if I have samples. I may do a 5-day Renew sample. It's whatever I have in my house is what I'll share with them, something that they can take home with them. So they know I've invested in them. I've put some product in their hand. I want them to know that they are important to me. Then we sit down. The very first thing we do is I give them the speech. One time I had 4 women in their mid-70s sitting around my table. Well, have you tried to teach technology to a woman in her mid-70s? And actually, I think Amy, your mom, was one of them. So they immediately are telling you how they don't do technology. Do you have people say to you, I don't do technology. I don't do Facebook. Put a 2 in the chat if you've heard that response from people, right? So that's the moment you say, hey, listen, I understand, but I'm here to help you. And we're going to be lifelong learners. Okay. So that means no more complaining, no fussing. And I promise you, by the time you walk out of these doors, you're going to be able to do this. Are you all in? And they have to raise their hand. It goes back to my teaching days. But And then they say, okay, so then we walk through the process. What is it? Very simply, we download the boards. We get the app, right? We download the app, and then we transfer it to their phone. This is usually when people have the hardest moment, is trying to get the boards onto their keyboard. They don't know that they have to hit all access in their settings. So they need to go into their board setting and they have to hit keyboard, and then they have to push that little toggle over that says all access. If you can just help them with that little space, it's amazing, because then it goes onto their phone, right? We put them on their phone, and I literally now have it on their phone with the little globe in the bottom, or the keyboard if they don't have an iPhone. And we do what I call is role playing. Okay. And we start to role play. And they're so insecure about it. I'm like, don't be, watch what happens. Tell me about the drops. So I send them a note. Then I say, now go into your scripts. They're frantic trying to find their scripts. They go into their scripts, and I said, here's scripts. What's the first one say? What are the drops? And I said, now push it and send it to me. And I'm telling you, it's like this. Ding, 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 ding. Have you ever had that moment when somebody just says, what? These are on my phone? This is amazing. So now all of a sudden they are experiencing exactly the conversation. What are the drops? Dr. Crystal Vance's video. And then I send a note. How much do they cost? And they come back with me and they send me the link of how much it costs, the script. And so we go through those scripts. How much does it cost? And then I send them my mailing address and my email, and then they send me their Venmo. And then we invite them to Circle of Health. And so that's in your scripts too. Make sure you use that, because when people are joining Circle of Health, they need to identify who's inviting them. So please don't go into Circle of Health and hit invite at the top. Sometimes we have spammers that go and invite like 100 people. Please do not do that, because none of those people will be accepted. They have to come in through the link that says who invited them. The reason for that is to protect you as a brand partner. Yeah, if they ask questions about more products, we want to make sure we know who invited them to the group, so you get that credit, right? So we're always looking to make sure that you're covered in this. And then you invite them to Circle of Health. And then as I'm sitting there, I say to them, now I'm going to go in right now, and I'm going to go into Circle of Health. Let's go. Let's do it. And I get into Circle of Health and I say, find the featured section where Dr. Crystal Vance is, and put that little, what is it? The little A that says at, right? So I'll say at Andrea Rosser. This is where you get started with the drops. Okay. And now Andrea is going to get dinged. She's going to get dinged. And I'll say, this is how you get people involved in Circle of Health. Why is that so important? Because we want to teach people that we are not the resource. We're not the resource. There's so much information in Circle of Health. So don't get in the weeds with people. I'm not a doctor. I don't know all the medical information. I'm not even a homeopathic educator, so I don't know those things. But what I do know is there's a little circle on Circle of Health that I can type in something like protein shakes, or I can type in protein bars, or I can type in whatever the question is, they can put that in there and they're going to find it in Circle of Health. It's absolutely incredible. And a huge shout out to Dr. Crystal Vance and Ashley Paulson for creating that and allowing all of us to use that. So it's a great tool. Now, what else do we do? I show them the bags. We go right onto Amazon and they order their bags, and I show them how to print out a copy so they're ready to go. And I show them any other thing that I think might be apropos, but not too much more, because I don't want to overwhelm people. And again, we have a lot of information. It's easy to make things complicated. It's hard to keep things easy. Okay. So keep it easy with your people. And then here's the moment. You tell them to put on a little lipstick. If they wear it. And if it's a man, probably not. But if you, so I tell them, okay, we're going to go out on my deck. And I just happen to have a very beautiful Pikes Peak view off my deck. And I said, we're going to take a picture of you holding the drops. And I let them use my drops. and I show them how to hold the drops. But here's the key. You've got to have some kind of a filter so they feel beautiful in their pictures. It's a very insecure thing for people to post a picture of themselves, especially talking about hormones, potentially weight loss, potentially other things. They need something. They need you to be their cheerleader. Remember, encouragement, the core word is courage. You are giving people courage. So there's a lot of apps out there. So I'm not a big advocate of anyone, except I'm just going to tell you the one I use. There's a lot of apps out there. The one I use is Lensa, Lensa. And I love it because it does all kinds of wonderful things. It brightens up people's faces, does beautiful things with the background. It's a wonderful little app, very simple to use. And I take many different pictures of them, standing, sitting, here, there. I bring them in my house, sit them in a chair, put them over on the counter. And then we agree on a picture they like. Okay, that's key. And I'll say, I love this one. And then we edit it right there. And then we do the unthinkable. We make a post. And I say, okay, we're going to add this to your Facebook. And they're like, right now? I'm like, absolutely, right now. And so we put that picture on their Facebook page. And I say, okay, what are the 3 things you want to happen for taking the drops if you're just getting started? Or if you've been on the drops and you're starting to run the business, what are the 3 things you've noticed? So they'll usually use this phrase, and this is my favorite. You can do whatever you want, but if they're over 45, I start out their posts with, I'm kicking midlife to the curb. And why is that? Because anybody midlife is going, yeah, I can relate to that. I kick in midlife to the curb, and this is what I am taking the drops, and this is the results that I'm hoping for. And so it's a picture of them that people recognize them and they trust them already. And then at the very end, we finish it with ask me for a doctor's review. And that's Dr. Crystal Vance's 4-minute video. Ask me for a doctor's review and how you can get your hands on yours. Okay. So it's simple, short, simple, nothing big, nothing fancy, nothing complicated. And then they do, like, I make them push the send button, the post button. And then we move on to a couple other things. They have more questions. We go through any other things. I keep them at least a few more minutes because what I want them to see is by the time they walk out of that house, my house, all of a sudden their phone's going like this. Ding, 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 ding. And they are on cloud 9 because they realized they can do this. And so they'll say, oh, Aunt May, she just reached out to me. I haven't heard from Aunt May in 10 years. And then I say to her, do not ask her questions about her family. Go right to the boards. Don't go off and then try to get her back on the boards. Do the boards first and then go back into taking conversation about the family. Keep the system. Never deviate from this system. Because if you do it, it's duplicatable. You can do it over and over again, and you can teach the newest person to make money and be successful at this. That's your job. Your job is to help the brand new person to be successful at this. Not the person that has 10 years of network marketing experience, not a person that's a superstar on Facebook. They're going to take care of it. Your job is to work with a brand new person that needs some encouragement. Now they walk out of your house, you show them the boards, they know where the social media posts are, and they're off and they're running. And with no time at all, you're going to get a text saying, I can't believe it. I just sold 4 sets of drops. Now, if that's an exciting moment for you as a brand partner, put a 1 in the chat. When your person says to you, I just sold 4 sets of drops, or I just sold 10 sets of drops. It's so exciting. I think my team calls me Moa, mother, super Moa, mother of all. But I can take that on because I am 64 years old and I do feel like a mother to a lot of my people. But one thing about a mentor is a mentor wants to teach you what you know. What they know. A mentor wants to teach you what they know. So people use the word mentor, that person's mentoring me. Well, I like to think that motherhood is a step above that, that motherhood is, I want more for you than I even have for myself. And so when I look at people, I think of them as a person, a daughter, a son, someone that I love, that I want more for them than I want for myself. And I'm going to give myself to that process. So that's how I get people started, Andrea. And I'm sure there's questions in the chat. I got so in the moment that I didn't really get to look at that. But if this has been helpful to you, put a 2 in the chat. And if you do have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Andrea, you may have targeted some of these or maybe not. So I hope that was helpful.
That was incredible. And well, you're getting a bunch of 2s and some are coming as private messages from me. So you can't even, or to me by accident, you can't even tell how many 2s you're getting. So obviously you brought so much value to all of us. And I love that. And you know what I love the most is I saw where I'm the weakest, right? Like I love getting people started, but I've never taken anybody's picture, right? I've never done it. And so there's little things that even if you are excelling, there's always something to learn. And there's so many little nuances. We're going to bring them into our home. We're going to make them feel comfortable. And then you got me when you said that we're not mentoring them, but we're mothering them because we want more for them than we want for ourselves. And man, is that not a powerful visual? Like if every single person that joins us, we take on that kind of responsibility, that kind of heart where we say, I want this more for you than I want this for me. That was powerful. So the number one question I'm getting is the bags. So I personally don't use bags. So if you share a link or whatever, if you wouldn't mind, sharing that either on Partner Code Nation or here in the chat, but what bags are y'all using?
So I did a little research and so I do use bags and I recommend using bags. That's just me. Again, it's your business. Everybody can do it. Andrea doesn't do bags. I do a bag. Why? Because I did a little research to find out what color is the most appealing when people receive a package and that is for sales, like that immediately opens them up to say, wow, this is a great color. This is full of lovely energy. And it is a light teal colored bag.
Like
and
Tiffany blue?
Light teal, like a light green. Okay, so
Okay,
now I'm going to walk over to my
I just was going to diamonds. I'm like, hey, I want to open some Tiffany blue.
I'm going to show you. Well, one of the other reasons is you're going to really see my closet now. I don't know if I want to see my closet, but here you go. This is the color. Can you see it? Kind of bluish green.
Yeah, I love it.
It's like kind of a seafoam green. It's on Amazon. But the other thing I love about it, Andrea, it matches our bags.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And it also is the green, right? So we're keeping in we're keeping branded. And I like that. It's not as green as Partner Code green, but it's like a bluer teal. It's on Amazon. It's in my boards. I don't know if anybody on my team, if anybody in my team is on right now, they could add that link in here, but
I just added a Tammy for you.
Thank you. I'm hunting.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. It's on Amazon. And it's like 100 bags for 10 cents. I don't know. It's probably not that, but it's very, very inexpensive. And so I get the larger bags. You can get smaller ones or larger ones, but I get a bag that looks like, yeah, that's it. That's it. There it is. See, I was close, $11.99. That wasn't bad. But I like this because it's big enough that if somebody orders 2 sets of drops, I can put 2 sets of drops in it. And I find that I like my drops coming with a presentation. I don't want just a box. And it's okay if you do that. I'm just telling you for myself, I want the drops to come looking great to people, not being banged up or, UPS even can be pretty rough on our packages. So I want them to, and then I write them a little note. I use a business card that I created on I'm just one of the oh, what is it called? Vistaprint, right? Vistaprint. And it's just my business card. It's just a picture of me. It's got you can scan my code. And what is that code? When they scan that code, it's going to show them how to become a brand partner. It's going to have one set of drops on there. And they're going to look at this and they're going to say, wow, the next set of drops I can get for 30%. I can get wholesale pricing for $29.95. So I have had people sign up as brand partners just because of my business card. And then on the back, I have 3 little before and after pictures and a few bullet points on what the drops do. Okay. And I take that and I say, thank you, Susie, for your support. And I said, I'll be in touch. And I put it on a permanent marker. I tape it on the box. And now, not only do I have a customer that I've given hopefully good information to with Circle of Health and everything else, now, Andrea, I have the opportunity that they've already seen this. They've already seen this code. Almost all of them have because they asked me about it. And then the transition to becoming a brand partner for $29 and getting wholesale pricing, it's really easy to do. So that's why I sign up brand partners, and a lot is because I convert every one of my customers to a brand partner. Almost. Not all, but almost.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, Tammy, thank you. Thank you so much for pouring into us and all of the great information that you've put in here, and just appreciate your time, your information. And man, do y'all feel a little bit of sense of responsibility right now? That when somebody joins you, don't you think, I want to be just like Tammy and go get them started in the same exact way? So, that's going to be my goal. I'll tell you, I'm going to get this recording up on Brent Palmer's YouTube channel ASAP so that I can watch it again, because it's hard to take notes when you're clickety clicking here.
So much information.
Great information. I so appreciate you. And so thank you. Thank you, Amy. And guys, one last reminder, go get that list. Go get that list, all of your customers, and join us Saturday morning at 9 a.m. That is going to be an exciting call. It's going to be a powerful call. You do not want to miss that. So thank you so much for being on here tonight. Tammy, I so appreciate you.
Oh, it's my joy. It's my joy and pleasure. And I'm also, if you have a specific question that has not been answered tonight, I know I see so many links that are put in here for people. So I think if you guys run through these, if you look through the comments, people have been really faithful to put in links for you. But if there's something I can help you with that hasn't been answered, please, I'm on Facebook. Tammy M. Melchisedeck is my Facebook. I am pretty much full with friends. So, but you can always send me a message, and it goes into where it says other messages, and I'll still be able to connect with you that way. So I hope it's been helpful.
It is phenomenal. Well, thank you so much. Amy, did you have something you wanted to say?
I just really wanted to say that I have sat with Tammy as she worked with people, and I have never seen anybody make people feel so loved and appreciated and special. And it's almost like she gives them that springboard lovingly, like out of just, that little nest, like, I'm going to give you this gentle little push, and you're like ready to go and fly. And she is just, she encourages people. And I have seen her do that over and over and over again. And she keeps it simple. She doesn't complicate it, and just makes people, like I said, feel so appreciated. They walk away understanding some of the products, understanding what they need to do with the drops, understand what they need to do with posting.
Thank you.
Love it, love it, love it. Well, guys, thank you for being on here. Thank you for joining us on your Wednesday evening. I appreciate each and every one of you. Can't wait to see you back in the morning on Coach's Corner. Tomorrow afternoon with Dr. Crystal, Saturday with the team call, and just look forward to seeing you all throughout the week. So love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful evening, and thank you again. Have a great night. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you much. Have a good evening.
Thanks to all three of y'all. Great call.
Great call.
Great evening.
Bye. Have a blessed evening.
Great
You guys have a
presentation.
great
Thanks for
evening.
joining.
So much.
Bye, everybody.